My dear brothers and sisters, there is a pain that cuts deeper than physical harm, and that is the pain of being disrespected. Not because the words were true, but because they were spoken with arrogance, with cruelty, or with the intention to humiliate. Many of us carry these moments silently, replaying them in our hearts, losing sleep, losing peace, and questioning our worth. But Islam does not leave you helpless in these moments. There is a response that protects your heart, preserves your dignity, and hands the matter over to Allah completely. Say it once sincerely and watch how Allah takes care of what you let go. One disrespect does not lower you, it exposes them. My dear brothers and sisters, when someone disrespects you, it is very important to understand what is truly happening beneath the surface. Disrespect is not a measurement of your worth, your intelligence, your character, or your standing with Allah. Disrespect is a window into the heart of the person who is speaking. People do not give what they do not have. A heart filled with peace does not enjoy hurting others. A soul that is content does not feel the need to humiliate someone else. When a person resorts to insults, mockery, sarcasm, or harsh words, it often means they are struggling inside, carrying anger, jealousy, insecurity, or unresolved pain that has nothing to do with you. A person with taqwa does not need to step on others to feel tall. A person who knows Allah does not feel powerful by making others feel small. When someone disrespects you, they are not standing above you. They are revealing a weakness within themselves. They may appear loud, confident, or aggressive, but inside there is imbalance. Islam teaches us to see beyond the surface and not take everything personally, because not everything is about us. Allah created you with honor. This honor is not fragile, and it is not something people can take away with words. Allah says that He has honored the children of Adam, and that honor is built into your existence. No insult can erase it. No mockery can reduce it. No human opinion can cancel what Allah has already decreed. Your dignity is not rented from people, it is gifted by Allah. Even the Prophet ﷺ, the most honored of all creation, was insulted, mocked, accused, and rejected. People called him names, questioned his intentions, and tried to break him emotionally. Yet none of that lowered his rank, because Allah Himself was raising him higher with every test. If disrespect could truly lower a person, then the Prophet ﷺ would have been lowered. But instead, Allah elevated him above all creation. This alone should teach us that insults do not define status, Allah does. So when disrespect comes your way, pause for a moment before reacting. Do not rush to defend yourself emotionally. Do not rush to prove your worth. Remind yourself calmly that your value was never in their hands to begin with. Your worth is written by Allah, protected by Allah, and known by Allah. People may speak from ignorance, anger, or arrogance, but Allah judges with perfect knowledge and perfect justice. When you hold on to this understanding, disrespect loses its power over your heart, and you walk away stronger, calmer, and more at peace. 2. The one statement that protects your heart. My dear brothers and sisters, when someone disrespects you, the most dangerous moment is not the insult itself, but what happens inside your heart immediately after. This is the moment when anger tries to take control, when your ego wants to respond, when your emotions begin to rise and push you toward words or actions that you may later regret. Islam does not teach us to suppress our feelings, but it teaches us how to guide them. In moments like these, Allah gives us a powerful spiritual tool, a statement that protects the heart before the damage spreads. That statement is not meant to be shouted, argued, or used to threaten anyone. It is said quietly, sincerely, and with full trust in Allah. Hasbiya lillahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is sufficient for me. There is no deity except Him. When you say this, my dear brothers and sisters, something very important happens inside you. You are no longer trying to win an argument. You are no longer trying to prove your innocence. You are no longer begging people to understand you. Instead, you are placing the entire situation in the hands of Allah. You are saying, Ya Allah, you saw what I saw, you heard what I heard, you know my intention better than anyone else, and I trust you completely. This sentence protects your heart because it removes the burden from your chest. Many people suffer not because of what was said to them, but because they keep carrying it long after the moment has passed. They replay the words again and again, imagining better responses, wishing they had said something stronger, something sharper, something that would hurt back. Islam frees us from this cycle. When you say this sentence sincerely, you cut the rope between your heart and the insult. You stop feeding the pain with attention. It also protects your dignity. When you respond emotionally, people may misunderstand you, twist your words, or use your reaction against you. But when you respond with reliance on Allah, you remain composed, respected, and dignified. You may appear quiet on the outside, but inside you are strong because you chose trust over ego and patience over impulse. This statement also reminds you of a deeper truth, that no matter how powerful someone thinks they are, no matter how loud their words sound, Allah is greater. People can speak, accuse, and insult, but Allah is the final judge. Allah knows what is hidden in hearts, what is whispered in private, and what is denied publicly. When you rely on Him, you are never alone in the situation, even if it feels that way. So my dear brothers and sisters, the next time someone disrespects you, do not rush to defend yourself in front of people. Defend your heart in front of Allah. Say this sentence once with full trust and allow Allah to take over. You will feel the difference immediately. The heaviness will begin to lift, the anger will soften, and peace will slowly return. This is not weakness. This is spiritual strength. And Allah loves those who place their trust in Him. 3. Silence for the sake of Allah is not weakness, it is strength. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest misunderstandings in our time is the belief that silence means you have lost. Many people think that if you do not respond immediately, if you do not defend yourself loudly, if you do not match disrespect with disrespect, then you have somehow been defeated. Islam teaches us something very different. Islam teaches us that true strength is not found in the tongue, but in self-control. True strength is not in reacting, but in restraining yourself when emotions are high. When someone disrespects you, anger rises naturally. Your heart beats faster, your thoughts become crowded, and your ego begins to whisper that you must respond or you will look weak. But my dear brothers and sisters, not every voice inside you deserves to be followed. The nafs often pushes us toward actions that feel powerful in the moment, but leave us empty later. Silence, when chosen for the sake of Allah, is not fear and it is not surrender, it is wisdom. It is you choosing long-term peace over short-term satisfaction. The Prophet ﷺ was faced with insult many times, yet he did not rush to respond with anger. He understood that words spoken in anger often carry regret, while patience carries reward. When you remain silent for Allah, you are not ignoring injustice, you are trusting that Allah sees it fully. You are saying with your actions that you believe Allah's justice is greater than your reaction. This level of trust is not easy, but it is powerful. Silence also protects you from saying something you cannot take back. Words, once released, cannot be retrieved. Many relationships are damaged not by the first insult, but by the response that follows. Islam protects us from self-destruction by teaching us to pause, breathe, and choose restraint. When you hold your tongue and leave the matter to Allah, you protect your character, your reputation, and your inner peace all at once. There is also a deep inner reward in this silence. When you resist the urge to react, Allah places tranquility in your heart. You may feel a moment of discomfort at first, but soon after, you will feel relief. That relief comes from knowing you acted in a way that pleases Allah. You chose dignity over drama. You chose patience over pride. You chose Allah over your ego. And remember this, my dear brothers and sisters, people may misunderstand your silence, but Allah understands it perfectly. People may think you stayed quiet because you had no answer, but Allah knows you stayed quiet because you had self-control. People may assume you accepted the disrespect, but Allah knows you handed it over to Him. And when Allah takes over a matter, the outcome is always better than anything we could have created ourselves. So do not be afraid of silence when it is for the sake of Allah. Do not feel pressured to respond to every insult. Not every situation needs your voice, but every situation needs your iman. When you remain silent with trust in Allah, you are not losing anything. You are gaining peace reward, and strength that no insult can ever take away. In 4, when you react, you hand them control over your heart. My dear brothers and sisters, it is important to understand something very subtle but extremely powerful. The moment you react emotionally to disrespect, you give the other person access to your inner world. Their words may last only a few seconds, but your reaction can allow those words to live in your heart for hours, days, or even years. This is one of the greatest losses a believer can experience. Not because someone spoke badly, but because we allowed their words to disturb our peace. Many people believe that reacting strongly will restore their dignity, but in reality, uncontrolled reactions often do the opposite. When you respond with anger, raised voices, or harsh words, you begin to operate on the same level as the person who disrespected you. The focus shifts away from their behavior and toward your reaction. Instead of their wrongdoing being clear, the situation becomes confused, and sometimes the one who was wronged ends up looking guilty. Islam teaches us to rise above this trap. My dear brothers and sisters, not everyone deserves a reaction. Some people disrespect others specifically to provoke them. They want to see anger. They want to feel powerful by disturbing your calm. When you react, you give them exactly what they are seeking. But when you remain composed and place your trust in Allah, their plan collapses. They are left alone with their behavior while you walk away with your dignity intact. This is why Islam teaches us to protect the heart. The heart is not just an emotional center, it is the place where Iman lives. Every unnecessary reaction weakens the heart by filling it with resentment, bitterness, and exhaustion. You may win an argument, but you lose peace. You may silence someone temporarily, but you disturb your own soul. Allah does not want His servants to live in emotional chaos. He wants tranquility, balance, and inner strength for them. When you choose not to react and instead rely on Allah, you are making a powerful decision. You are saying that your peace is more valuable than proving a point. You are saying that your Iman matters more than winning a verbal battle. You are saying that Allah's justice is enough for you even when you feel hurt. This choice requires maturity and faith, but it brings a reward that arguments never can. It is also important to remember that people move on quickly from what they say. The one who disrespected you may forget their words by the end of the day, but if you hold on to those words through reaction and replay, you are the one who continues to suffer. Islam frees us from this cycle by teaching us to let go. When you stop reacting, you stop reliving the pain. You allow the moment to pass instead of carrying it forward. So my dear brothers and sisters, the next time someone disrespects you, pause before reacting. Ask yourself whether this person deserves control over your emotions. Ask yourself whether this moment deserves space in your heart. More often than not, the answer will be no. Choose restraint. Choose reliance on Allah. Choose to protect your heart, because a protected heart is stronger than any argument you could ever win. 5. Allah defends those who choose Him over their ego. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the most comforting truths in Islam is knowing that when you choose Allah, Allah never abandons you. When someone disrespects you, your ego immediately wants to defend itself. It wants to respond, to correct, to attack back, to prove something. But ego seeks satisfaction, not peace. Allah, however, offers protection, justice, and tranquility. When you choose Allah over your ego, you are not losing anything. You are gaining divine support. Allah sees every injustice, even the ones that people dismiss or minimize. He hears every word spoken against you, even when no one else is listening. He knows your intention, even when others misunderstand you. When you remain patient and rely on Him, you are placing your trust in the one who judges with perfect fairness. People judge with limited knowledge and personal bias, but Allah judges with complete wisdom and absolute justice. Many times, my dear brothers and sisters, Allah does not respond immediately, and this can be difficult for the heart. We want instant justice. We want the other person to be corrected quickly, but Allah's delay is not neglect. Sometimes Allah delays because He wants to protect you from further harm. Sometimes He delays because He wants to expose the truth in a way that cannot be denied. And sometimes He delays because He is elevating your rank through patience while holding the other person accountable in ways you cannot see. When you rely on Allah and say sincerely, Hasbiyallahu la illahu, you are declaring that Allah is enough for you. Even if no one apologizes, even if no one defends you, even if the situation never gets explained properly. This reliance frees your heart from bitterness. You no longer carry the need for revenge. You no longer wait for validation from people. You trust that Allah's response will be better than anything you could plan. Allah defends those who remain dignified under pressure. He lifts those who lower their ego for His sake. You may not see it immediately, but over time you will notice how Allah protects your reputation, strengthens your heart, and gives you peace that cannot be shaken by people's words. This is the reward of choosing Allah over ego. This is the strength of true Iman. And this is why the believer never truly loses, even when tested with disrespect. 6. Your calm response becomes a silent form of da'wah. My dear brothers and sisters, many people believe that da'wah is only done through speeches, reminders, or advice. In reality, one of the strongest forms of da'wah is character. When you remain calm in moments where anger would be expected, you deliver a message more powerful than words. People observe how you behave when you are hurt, challenged, or disrespected. They notice whether you react with rage or respond with dignity. This silent behavior speaks directly to their hearts. When someone disrespects you and you choose restraint, you surprise them. They may have expected shouting, insults, or emotional reactions, but instead they see calmness and control. This often causes them to reflect on their own behavior. Even if they do not say anything, even if they never apologize, something changes inside them. They realize that you are guided by principles, not impulses. This realization is a form of da'wah because it demonstrates the beauty of Islam without a single argument. My dear brothers and sisters, Islam does not teach us to be passive, but it teaches us to be purposeful. When your calmness is rooted in trust in Allah, it carries weight. It shows that your strength comes from within, not from overpowering others. People may disagree with you, but they will respect you. They may insult you, but they will remember how you carried yourself. This kind of influence lasts longer than any verbal victory. There is also a reward that people do not see. Every moment you choose patience over anger, Allah records it as worship. Your silence is not empty. Your restraint is not ignored. Angels write down your patience as a good deed, and Allah multiplies it in ways you cannot imagine. What feels like a loss in the moment becomes a gain in the sight of Allah. This knowledge strengthens the heart and makes patience easier over time. Your calm response also protects the image of Islam. When Muslims respond to disrespect with wisdom, people begin to understand that Islam produces balanced, thoughtful, and emotionally strong individuals. You become a living example of the Prophet's character, even if you never mention his name. This responsibility is heavy, but it is also honorable. Allah chose you to represent His deen through your behavior. So my dear brothers and sisters, do not underestimate the power of calmness. Do not think that silence means your voice does not matter. Sometimes the loudest message is delivered without words. When you choose dignity, patience, and reliance on Allah, you are inviting others to reflect, and you are earning reward at the same time. This is da'wah that reaches hearts, not ears, and it is one of the most powerful ways a believer can serve Allah. 7. Walk away with peace, knowing Allah saw everything. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the hardest things for the human heart is to walk away without closure. We want explanations, we want apologies, we want people to admit they were wrong. But Islam teaches us that not every situation will give you the closure you desire, and not every injustice will be corrected in front of your eyes. This is not a sign that Allah is unaware. This is a test of trust. When you walk away after being disrespected, you are not accepting injustice. You are choosing peace over prolonged pain. You are choosing to protect your heart instead of reopening the wound again and again. Walking away with trust in Allah means you believe that Allah saw every expression, heard every word, and knows every intention involved. Nothing was missed. Nothing was overlooked. Nothing was forgotten. Many times, my dear brothers and sisters, Allah resolves matters in ways that are hidden from us. The person who disrespected you may face consequences through their own behavior, their own words, or their own relationships. Sometimes Allah teaches people lessons privately without involving you at all. Other times, Allah removes them from your life completely, not as a loss, but as protection. What feels like unanswered injustice is often silent mercy. Walking away also heals the heart. When you stay connected to the pain, you remain trapped in it. When you let go, you give your heart permission to rest. Islam is a religion of balance, not emotional exhaustion. Allah does not want you to be stuck in anger, resentment, or bitterness. He wants your heart to remain soft, because a hardened heart cannot grow in Iman. Letting go is not weakness. It is wisdom guided by faith. There is also a deep sense of freedom that comes with leaving matters to Allah. You no longer need to watch what happens to the other person. You no longer wait for them to fall or regret. You no longer measure your peace based on their behavior. Your peace becomes independent, rooted in trust in Allah alone. This independence is one of the greatest gifts a believer can receive. When you say sincerely, Hasbi Allahu la ilaha illa huwa, and walk away, you are closing a door that leads to endless emotional struggle and opening a door that leads to tranquility. You are telling your heart that Allah is enough, even if the world never apologizes. And Allah responds to this trust in ways that strengthen you, soften you, and elevate you. So my dear brothers and sisters, walk away knowing that Allah is the best witness. Walk away knowing that Allah's justice is perfect even when it is delayed. Walk away knowing that Allah's reward is greater than any response you could give. And walk away in peace, because a heart that trusts Allah is never truly hurt by people. It is protected, guided, and held by the Most Merciful. My dear brothers and sisters, as we come to the end of this reminder, remember that life will always place people in your path who test your patience, your dignity, and your emotional strength. Disrespect is one of the most painful tests because it touches the heart directly. But Islam does not leave us unprotected. Allah gives us a way to respond without losing ourselves, without lowering our character, and without damaging our peace. You were never created to carry the weight of people's words. You were created to carry Iman in your heart and trust in Allah in your actions. When someone disrespects you, you do not need to explain yourself to those who have already decided to misunderstand you. You do not need to fight every battle that comes your way. Some battles are won by stepping back and placing them in Allah's hands. When you choose restraint over reaction, patience over pride, and trust over ego, you protect something far more valuable than an argument. You protect your heart, you protect your Iman, you protect your relationship with Allah, and Allah never allows that protection to go unrewarded. So the next time someone disrespects you, pause, breathe, and remind your heart of this truth. Say sincerely, Hasbi Allahu la illa huwa, and then move forward without bitterness. Let Allah carry what your heart was never meant to carry. Let Him deal with what you release, and trust that His response will always be better than yours. May Allah grant us wisdom in moments of anger, strength in moments of silence, and peace in moments of pain. May He make us among those who respond with dignity, walk away with trust, and live with hearts that are calm because they rely on Him alone.